Can we like first get famous on a different app before we start a podcast? Because this shit is difficult.
I don't know how to explain it. People coming over to complimenting me, I'm just like,
I think it's important people on the podcast know that I have a taste for older women. Older women slide in the DMs. 53 is my sweet spot. I'm just saying, if all the wieners showed up to an event,
30.
you're bringing
a community of wieners.
A package of wieners, you could say.
And we grilled also.
Yeah.
Wieners.
You can never get too aggressive with AIDS.
Which is why I'm unveiling my idea officially today on the pod of one subway car being the sex subway car.
The entire podcast, we have just taken topics and burned them to a crisp in 22 minutes.
I like it. Laibel has 100% pleasured himself to the thought of Dave Portnoy. There is not a doubt in my mind. There is not a doubt in my mind.
I want Elon Musk to like sit on Mark Zuckerberg's face, give him like a wedgie.
And Zuckerberg is out of the fight because he has contracted pink eye.
All right, everybody, welcome to episode number 46 of Mislaibeled. Coming off a very, very somewhat intense episode. Zach, is there something going on here?
I'm just making clownery and tomfoolery.
Tomfoolery.
Bottom line, when you click that can open, there is a very sexy, enjoyable...
Yeah, no, I particularly enjoy when like I cut my finger on the can and I get a little bit of blood. Truly tastes a lot better with like a hint of human blood.
Really now? Do you also want like your face to be blacked and like just keep them right in front of you, like center?
Yeah.
I'm just...
Brand deal.
No, I'm just being honest. Like, clear the table a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
no, you get one thing in the way. You don't get everything in the way. Okay. No, Zach, what the hell? We're not sponsoring Truly.
No, they're sponsoring us.
That's what I was gonna. No, that's what I mean. I'm saying
if I guzzle the rest of this Truly, will you sponsor us? I might go to the hospital. I might die tonight, but you know it's worth it.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like we are like worth Truly sponsoring us, and until they're willing to do so and they call us, we will not sponsor them.
That's an interesting question. I know you have the whole thing, but I have to ask. Is there what is your dream company to sponsor us?
Dream company to sponsor us?
Ferragamo belts.
Yeah, I don't have one top of mind, to be totally honest.
Oh, we got to fix that. We got to remedy this. Shmuley, what company do we want? I want the worst pharmaceutical company, the one that like has definitely been responsible for the most like American mercy. Yeah,
Kaiser Permanente.
Who's the guy?
Permanente, is that what it is?
The guy who like upped the price of AIDS medication by $1 billion.
Yes.
I wanted to.
No, I know you're talking. By the way, Brofman defended him. What's his name? Something with an S.
Martin Shkreli.
Yeah, Shkreli. Yes. That's the guy.
Yeah. Shkreli. We want that AIDS death money that you have.
He actually went to prison.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it illegal?
That's
capitalism.
the famous. Correct. That's the famous thing.
The famous question.
But I mean, I think he was a little bit too aggressive with the capitalism, so they went after him.
You can never get too aggressive with AIDS. I think he just was like, you can never get too aggressive.
They like put him in jail. They're like, he's like, what is this? Like, you were just too good at capitalism. You need to go in here now.
Anyways,
you're the best.
All right, so coming off actually a pretty serious episode, obviously. I felt bad because I should have clarified a little bit during that episode, before that episode. We have a decent amount of non-Jewish listeners at this point. I should have really clarified.
Welcome,
guys. We all love you.
Namaste.
I don't know, like konnichiwa. Like, no. All right.
No, we have a decent amount. So I just want to clarify for those people that were like watching this and were like, "What the hell is going on here?"
Right. What's going on?
Just in very short, in Jewish law, when a divorce is when a man wants to divorce his wife, or a woman wants a divorce for that matter from her husband, the man has to give what is called a get, which is a word you probably heard a bunch. But that means the man has to give divorce papers essentially to the wife. If a man does not give actual divorce papers to the wife, she is not free, meaning she is considered by Jewish law married, and therefore she cannot go and marry someone else, because the most serious thing in Jewish law, the most serious wrong thing in Jewish law that someone can do is be married and...
Is pay taxes. I'm sorry.
I'll be honest, you use the taxes angle, Zach, way too much. Whenever you have the
opportunity... I'll stop using it when it stops hitting. It's funny every time.
But at the end of the day, the worst thing in Jewish law is a woman who goes and has sexual intercourse with, or gets married, which is one of the same, to another man, while Judaism-based wise still being married to another man. So that's the basis of the last podcast. So apologies, first of all, for anyone that was watching that had no idea what we're talking about. I know it's a little bit too late on that.
Oops.
But with that being said, quick, Zach, what was the feedback you got?
Incredible. I got very, very good feedback, and it's always a lovely surprise when I'm on Mislaibeled podcast and I'm getting people in DMs going, "We appreciate you." I'm like, "Oh my god, what?
First of all,
what's going on?"
You think you feel that way? Imagine me.
It's really weird getting love mail.
yeah. Love mail, exactly. No,
Yeah.
I feel like people are really like talking it up, like, oh, it's so important. Look, I don't feel like we did anything that crazy. We just talked to someone who has an unfortunately interesting story. But yes, it definitely felt good. It made me, I think, as someone who like is a man,
You're not a man?
No, what I'm saying is, as men in the Orthodox world, did you guys like ever talk about Agunahs? We don't talk about it. I didn't know. As a world, I didn't know anything about it. It's you read about it.
I know what it is, but like
You read about it in like a magazine, like an Orthodox Jewish magazine, like, oh, this is an issue in the culture, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. This made it real.
It's the concept that when you talk to someone else about an experience that you've never had, you finally actually like
Care about it.
can care or internalize it, which is why it's important to have normal, open conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I wasn't sure exactly
Or
how
to expand your horizons. Yeah, go ahead.
I wasn't sure exactly how it would play out, if I'm being totally honest.
Could have gone a lot of ways.
To my surprise, I actually turned out really good. I think we got tremendous brownie points off that, if I'm being totally honest.
I think so too.
In the firm world, I thought there were certain things I said that would be much more, I would get hit significantly on. Different opinions I had.
Yeah,
and
we
takes.
definitely did not really hold any punches when it came to like kind of ragging on the Rabbanim.
But not just the Rabbanim. I wasn't scared about that.
What were you scared about?
Because the Rabbanim, again, don't really give a shit about us. So I wasn't really worried about that. They're not the ones.
Takes.
They're not the ones who are going to say anything. I more thought just my.
They're the ones that are going to want to cancel us when we have like 10,000 more followers.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, with me being at the helm of this, they probably won't be, just because they kind of still know I'm on their side. But yes, I hear what you're saying as far as like me just still being willing to go at it.
So I'm curious, what do you think you said on the Nechama pod that you were like worried people were gonna?
Again, I just worried is. Straight up is not the right term. I was expecting it, and I went into the pod believing that it would happen. It didn't, beautifully. I was just very clear that I don't believe that the get being used as a bargaining chip is always the wrong thing.
Oh, that thing.
That's a pretty big pointer that I think most people, people that are very much in this fight have a disagreement on. Just to clarify, the people that are loud right now, my understanding is they have a disagreement on that. So I thought I would get a lot of hate based off that. It didn't happen. Great. I stand by the statement. I always will stand by it.
I think generally speaking, the film world is just getting, the Orthodox Jewish world is getting better at hating you in private.
Oh, you think that's what it is?
Yeah, I think they stopped DMing. They just hate you in private.
Because they realize, like, I'm just not going to, like...
Yeah, they know a lost cause when they see one.
It happens to be, I was having a conversation with someone about this, and I am on your side for the most part. Obviously, I think 99.99% of the time it shouldn't be used as a bargaining chip. Yeah, but I do believe there's like, okay, 1 in a million chance, like there's a certain thing going on, like maybe that's something that could be used. And the person I was talking to, one of my friends, was like, well, the way that I see it is that it was never put in halacha as a bargaining chip. That's not what it was supposed to be put in. It's not supposed to be used as leverage. He's like, so obviously the natural case where it's leverage is like you're getting your kids taken away from you, right? Or money is railroading you or things like that. So he's like, yeah, and what if it's the other way around?
Well, that's what I said.
No, but what if it's the other way around? What if the woman's getting railroaded and the man is giving her a get and the woman's getting railroaded? They're getting divorced, right? They're going to get divorced.
Okay.
And the woman is getting railroaded.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, with the kids?
Yeah.
Okay,
what is her fallback?
She's saying that she doesn't have a fallback.
She doesn't have.
Meaning
we have a fallback. Man, always, you're claiming man always has a fallback.
Right.
We have this last resort, technically. So he's like, what about the woman? Do they have a last resort ever? They don't.
I hear you. But I
actually said I thought that was a very good point.
No, it is a good point. I'm not going to argue with that. I could be wrong. Most of the cases that I've heard are not typically that.
But
I'm not saying that there isn't an angle to that. I'm just saying, to me, most cases, and this is where I really went, I don't want to belabor the particular point too much, but most cases that, most of the time to me, is that, like, unless it's an egregious case where, like, CPS would literally take away your kids, a woman does not have the right, or a man, vice versa, does not have the right to sit there and claim he's an abuser, he's this or he's that, and make that and be judge, jury, and executioner on the case to say, oh yeah, I'm gonna hold my kids back because he's abusive, because they perceive him to be abusive.
So obviously, it's all just to end it. Obviously, it's all theoretical. So when it comes to theoretical, is what he was saying makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
Because
for sure.
from the theoretical case, we're basically saying that man has a has a bargaining chip, but the woman never does.
Yeah, I'm just saying that
Which is
most,
tough.
honestly, I know this sounds crazy. Most cases should be 50-50 custody, the same way in marriages when they
Yes.
exist. There's many marriages that are happening where the husband is a pretty big menace to the kids or vice versa.
Yeah.
And they stay together and there's like no problems, no custody battles because they're married. And the wife does not walk away because she wants to be married to the guy, and yet she stands right by her abuser, right by her husband who is not being nice to the children. And that's not a problem. Whereas all of a sudden, if they're getting divorced, that same behavior, which everyone's okay with within their own homes when they're married, becomes the end all
okay
be all.
with is a strong word. They tolerate.
They tolerate. So my
Yeah.
point is, it just takes a lot to me
yeah.
to be able to have the opinion that this guy is so dangerous that I have the right to pull back my kids.
Right.
That's my. I think people quickly jump to that because they are very, in their personal opinion, within their relationship with the person, they see this person as a demon, so they right away assume and decide he can't be around my kids. And I think that might. Anyways,
That's actually honestly that is an interest that I've never thought about that exact point. The fact that like he was allowed to be around your kids in the marriage and you were trying to make it work, but the second the divorce happened, that's like what to think about for sure. I do want to pick back on what, like we were saying, like just in terms of like the woman not having a bargaining chip. And here's where I'm gonna pull the Zach card that I actually made sure not to get too into this with Nechama, because like I clearly saw she was like very much like, and I respected this. She like clearly did not lose any of her like faith in God, and like more than that, like she like stayed fully Orthodox, and like I can respect that. Everyone teaches their own. My thoughts on this matter is like, and part of the reason why this is such a hot topic and why some of the really, I believe, very well-meaning like grassroots people who are like championing these women are doing this thing that you were against, which most Torah Jews would be against, which is they're kind of like bending halacha. It's such a hot topic issue because it is really, from a modern lens, it just looks it looks horribly unfair. Horribly
A lot of
unfair.
things are unfair.
Yeah. We're not getting a whole
saying,
physical debate, but this is definitely one of those things where it's like, oh, like really, like this is literally like actual patriarchy. Like boom, like here, cut and dried. Like woman does not have a bargaining chip, man can hold a ghetto like overhead. Like that's crazy. So it just the emotions are gonna run.
I hear that 100%.
And like if like to our four secular listeners, like for the people who don't understand this world, like the modern world never works like this, like to this level.
Well,
this is so
obviously,
intense
in the traditional
America.
Jewish world. Just again, we keep on saying really quickly and move on, but it's another point that my friend was saying is like the same way that the reason the man has to give a get is when you go into a marriage, the man also has to give what we call in the Jewish world the Sheva Pruta, right? You have to give.
What is that?
Support.
They have. And when
money?
you give, you have to give a ring. You have to give something worth a Sheva Pruta. You have to give it to her and say, "Arei Mikadesh Li," whatever.
That
You're
could
saying
be
when you
like
get married.
worth like
Yeah, when
nothing.
you get married, the man literally has to give. A woman can't do that to a man.
Right.
A woman can't give you a ring and go "Harei at Mikadesh
No, I
Li"
know,
and you're
but-
married.
right.
A man could.
In Jewish law, a man marries the woman.
Correct. So it's in Jewish law, the way it works when it comes to marriage is the man does take the woman, and the man takes you out of the marriage too by giving the get. So it's
but you're not adding anything. You're just saying like it is a very.
I'm just saying in the generic sense of the modern world versus the traditionalist world, they just don't reconcile in the first place.
Yeah.
The idea of marriage.
But like, if we can get philosophical for a second, like, why was marriage? Like, doesn't marriage make more sense as two equal people, like, who would decide something? Like,
So,
it is weird to think about marriage as like, I took her and now I've given her back.
So the question is, what is equality? In that sense, you're making equality that everything in the marriage, that specific thing, is equal. Meaning, like, again,
let's start with just autonomy. I feel like it's a very basic, like it's a very baseline thing. Like the autonomy to be in a marriage or not seems like very.
I would say-
A man also has responsibilities that a woman does not have.
But I would
that are
also say one
significant.
more thing. No, one other thing I would say is,
Yeah, I'm
and
saying
I could
according
be,
to Jewish
I
law.
could be
According
wrong.
to Jewish law,
Yeah,
In
for
Jewish
sure.
law, I could be wrong, but it's on the woman, right, when she's a nida to go to the mikveh. If she doesn't go to the mikveh ever,
We have to explain all these things.
I know
we have
I
four
know,
non-Jews.
no,
ones.
I'm just. He brought up a philosophical point.
No, I don't mind beginning. Just
woman,
explain.
yeah, I will explain. When a woman is unclean, okay, and when she's on her period, she has
she's
to
bleeding out of her
She has
hoo-ha.
to go to a special ritual bath in order to cleanse herself, in order to go and have marital relations with her husband. If she doesn't go and do that, the husband cannot touch her. Yeah. So technically, I'm just telling you, technically, in a certain way, a woman, when she is on her period, right, has the ability to say, I'm never, let's say she doesn't want to have, marital relations with her husband, doesn't want her husband to touch her, she can just say, I'm never going to the mikvah. Right? Am I wrong?
You're right, but what's your point with that?
My point is that there's not equalness on any of it.
On everything. She can basically just never have sex.
She can withhold sex. Right? So,
I mean, and I would say the other way around. A man has to give his wife sex.
This is a very important point. This is a very important I need to make. Even take out all the halakha of Nida, all the Jewish law of Nida. In any marriage, a woman can withhold sex.
Of course, no, but that's 50-50. But that's two people making a decision. In this thing, this is not a woman can just go and when she's on her period decide I'm not doing this. No, in a certain way, meaning she
doesn't need to use the Nida. Meaning, if a woman was not on her period, it was just like I don't want to have sex tonight.
That's obvious. But at least it's an equal playing field of it's a conversation now. Meaning there's no ability. Meaning the guy can't even go up to her and be like, "Do you want to have sex?"
Right. I mean, he can't seduce his wife.
He can't approach. He can't do anything. He's not allowed to do anything.
But I would also say
he can't spit game at his wife.
He can't spit game at his wife, bro.
I would also say another thing, that there are certain things a man has to give his wife, including sex, whenever she wants it. I'm pretty sure I'm not wrong about that.
That is
totally wrong.
Is that actual Jewish?
I don't know. I don't know.
Whenever she wants it.
A man has certain obligations.
That is annoying.
Hold on. A man has certain obligations towards his wife that a woman does not have towards a man.
Right.
100%. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah. So, disclaimer: I know nothing about Judaism. Do not take anything that comes out of Shmuel's mouth.
We may have lost 3/4 of our listeners at this point of the podcast. Honest to God. All right, moving on. Classic fashion. So the Chosen Comedy Festival happened this week.
Speaking about sex and Judaism.
Yeah, I mean, we can get into that in 1 second, your exact point there. But we were all excited to go to the Chosen Comedy Festival. Oh, we're going to do this, blah, blah, blah. Shmuley 1 hour before the Chosen Comedy Festival. Guys, I'm sick as a dog. I can't move. I can't be there. Bam, total bust, does not show. And the Mislaibeled crowd was...
it was just me and Laibel.
Yeah, correct.
It was mostly me.
I'm sure you guys killed it and no one realized.
No, we did all right, but it would have been nice to have you there, Shmuel. You missed out on talking to a very glaze-eyed Ari Shafir at the bar.
Look,
you think he was out?
I wanted to be there.
I just think he was
obviously wanted to be there. If it was something like I was trying to get out of, like I would tell you, I love comedy. I love being noticed by people because it builds my ego. Yeah. So those two things combined, I would have loved to be there.
How many times did I tell you before Chosen that I have no interest in going tonight? When you came downstairs?
Every time, by the way, you guys have been saying Chosen lately, I've been thinking of the restaurant, the Chinese restaurant.
No, Chosen Comedy last night. 2 nights ago? How many times did I tell you I was like...
Yeah.
Shmuley was like, I can't go. I'm like, Shmuley.
That's why he wanted me to go so bad, because
I needed energy with me. And
I wanted to be there. You know how badly I would have wanted to be noticed by all these people?
You guys like comedy?
I would have wanted to be noticed by all these people, and I love comedy. I just really
Well, we all should go to a comedy show.
Literally sick.
We should all go to a comedy show.
Here's my angle.
Make up for it.
I don't love comedy. I do like it, but I don't know.
You're not a huge comedy. You're not.
I'm just
simply not.
Yeah, it's not like... Whatever, I grew up in a very intense, not comedy-based environment, very aggressive.
The night after Chosen, I went to comedy in the Lower East Side, and went like 2 nights in a row, because I wanted to hear comedy this week that wasn't like... Like, I'm not saying the guys at Chosen weren't funny, but there was so much like, look how Jewy we can get. Like, look how much Jew stuff we can put in. And I was like, I need to. It was good. It was. I laughed, but like, I needed to wash it down with like, just talk like a normal person.
Who's the best?
Dude, Ross kills it I was there last year. Ross is amazing. Okay, the best was like Modi, because this is his
domain.
This is where he is king, and Modi was funny. Elon Gold killed it. But Ross, I'm like a true fan of Ross. I've watched all the Comedy Central roasts, and he really comes on. He does some extra special, like extra Jewy bits. He throws out some From stuff. He kills it. He puts in effort. He writes new stuff.
He's very good at writing specifically to the audience that he's going after.
The best moment of the show by far, though, and you were there for that, but I don't know if you're paying attention, is they brought on this legend in the comedy scene. For us comedy nerds, Dave Attell, who is a legend, a fucking legend. And him and Ross do this show across America called Bumping Mics, where they just roast people. And if they get a good roast, then they bump mics. And they just went at each other. And then they brought Modi and Elon on. And then they were just roasting each other. And then they brought on Ari. But you could tell Attell was so much better at it, because like Modi got like one line in, Elon said nothing.
Right.
Attell got 20 like like snipe, and Ross was holding court. It was
Shafir was hilarious. Shmuley, you would have died at Shafir.
Oh, you like Shafir?
It was.
Well, I don't want to bad talk his set because I want him on the pod.
No,
but
Shafir was a little bit short.
it was short.
But his segment, it was 5 minutes.
He did a 5-minute long diarrhea joke.
But his joke, Shmuley, you would have died. Straight up, it was hilarious.
Such a
Shmuley,
refreshing.
if I'm laughing at something, you agree,
Yeah,
you would be
obviously.
dying on it.
It also means that he was very, very elaborate in how he explains
Oh
something.
my
So elaborate.
Because
Shmuley.
Laibel needs, like, he doesn't do well.
Gotta
with
paint a
the-
picture.
Exactly.
Leo, he was talking about how he was on a hike and he was trying to hold in his diarrhea because he had the shit really, really badly. And it came up to a point in the hike where he was basically explaining how when you lift your foot for some reason, that has a connection to the asshole. And for whatever reason, he didn't realize that whenever he was climbing up, he had to clench his
climb
asshole.
up the stairs?
No, I'm getting to it. He had to, whenever he was climbing up the mountain, he had to clench his asshole really hard to not let the diarrhea out. And there was a point where it was a ladder. And he was just like, the minute I went up the first, I managed 4 rungs, and then on the 5th, there was a guy right behind me underneath, and I just blew a gasket in his face, and the guy just looked back up at me and was just like, did you just shit in my face? He's like,
no way that actually happened.
I don't know.
Well, with comedians, you never know.
You never know. But this is Shmuel.
What I like
You
about
think that Ari Shamir shat on someone's face?
yeah. Well, no, in his
He said that the guy just handed him a handkerchief, like just gave it to him. Like, and just
Oh
felt-
yeah, because if I just got shat.
No, it was in his
He was
pants.
wearing pants, bro. He's not naked. He wasn't hiking naked. He was wearing pants.
But the guy, he was basically saying how there's an unmistakable sound when you shit, of like
Right.
diarrhea specifically. It was like, and then this guy,
I hate this type of humor. I really,
And
I
this guy,
never
come
like
on,
this.
surely this is.
I hate
I
this
love
stuff.
body humor. I'm immature.
not for me.
What, you understand?
I don't like scatological humor.
I'm not.
No, but I want to go back to one thing you said is that you met your cousin that you didn't know was your cousin.
Yes.
You have so many relatives that is a possibility that you can. You have the number one possibility, at least obviously out of this pod, because we have barely any relatives. You have actually a lot of relatives. I have
got
no
55 first
I have
cousins.
no relatives, but like
Okay.
You
I
have like
a lot
100
more,
first cousins?
like 822.
No, you don't. First
no.
cousins?
He has literally
No, my
so
mother's and father's
many.
side.
How many siblings your mom have?
My mom has 8. My father has 9.
Fuck.
And they
How
each
many
and they
kids?
each have like 10 kids each. Like a solid amount of them have a tremendous amount.
Bro,
of
you
children.
guys trying to colonize Mars? Like, what is going on?
So what I was saying is
That's how it
that
works.
Laibel literally, like, let's say just
And also,
let's say like just one yuntif, he's out, whatever, and he meets a girl and like whatever, they chill. He could see her Crawford's next to her and be like, wait, who are you again? Oh, wait. Oh, you're my cousin?
Label, we need to know.
Label,
Have you ever?
Label, I would not be surprised if you Alabama'd someone.
what is
No,
Alabama?
not a first
someone
cousin, a
mean?
second cousin.
What
Second
does
cousin.
Yeah.
what does Alabama mean?
Oh, come on, you got that.
Come on.
Come on.
Like
idea.
Southern
Put it
people, like
together.
incest and stuff.
Oh shit! No,
I
no,
know,
no,
like
no,
trying to get
no.
labeled like that's why you don't like comedy, because trying to get you have
I'm
you
not
have to be-
cultured, so it takes me a long time to get
It's
jokes.
more than just culture. It's just
No, it could be like a.
Why are we focusing on the negative of me?
Yeah,
and
Label's
not
the best
positive
person.
of how much better I've gotten.
you have gotten a million
Like,
times.
why is this criticism all the
But
time?
you think that's great? You think you've ever? So I have a story. I have flirted with my second cousin without realizing it was my second cousin.
First of all, I would not be against, if I'm being totally honest. If I had a second cousin that I was into, I'm not sure.
No, this is a hot topic
No, I'm being
because
honest. I don't
here's the
know.
thing. Here's the thing. It's gross like on an immediate level, but if you think about it,
it-
if you grew up together, still gross. If you like never
Correct.
knew them,
Correct.
not so gross.
I'm not so against
Not
it.
so
But
gross.
once I would
Third for
know
sure.
it,
Third
Third
sure.
is fine. Third is fine. Third is preferred more than non-relative. It's kinkier. It's hotter.
third is more preferred because you really get each other on like a molecular
You have some
level.
of my exact trauma. It's good. No, second cousin. I think if you look, it's still gross to me. But
don't know,
if
it's
you
just-
weren't raised together,
What about when you add a removed in, like second once removed? Does that increase the? Is that okay?
less
It makes
weird.
it
Less
better.
weird.
Makes it
Less weird. Yeah, it makes it better. I don't think people should go around marrying a second cousin. But listen, if it works,
What about like a great aunt?
What? She's 82 and you're
No.
23?
You can have very young.
in the Orthodox Jewish, there's probably some great aunts who are 45.
or like 50, 53.
Oh, I'll go 53 any day. 53 is my sweet spot. I'm not even joking. I'm like half joking. I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
That's great. Well, no. So I do have.
I think it's important people on the podcast know that I have a taste for older women.
I'll explain
older
something to
women.
you.
Slide
We
into
were
DMs.
we were in Playa, and I had a cousin. I don't know if you remember. You were in Playa with me,
Yeah.
of course. You weren't there at the Seder in Playa where a cousin of mine came over to me.
I don't remember.
And
He
you
said
didn't
to me,
know his
"Are you
cousin?
no clue, zero clue?" He said, "Are you
First
Laibel
cousin?
Wiener from Mislaibeled?" I said, "Yes." He's like, "We're second cousins."
Oh, I do remember
sec-
this. I
right.
do remember this. Yeah.
No, I don't think it's crazy. I think most people don't know their second cousins. I don't know most of my second cousins. First
I
cousins.
know all my second cousins. I have like 7
not
of them.
so. That
do
doesn't
you
make
know
sense.
all of your first cousins by
Yes.
name? By name.
By name, no, but
No
I know their
way.
last names.
It's such a foreign concept to me that like
No, because I have 100
I
first
know,
cousins.
I know.
And a lot of them are below the age of 15.
Bro,
I'm
what
right now
does your
29.
family events look like? Just like, what does that even? How does anyone in your family, who I'm assuming are all like rabbis,
I'll explain.
afford
Looks
a
like an-
family kiddush?
Looks
Because
like
there's too much family.
No, there's the main course is eggs. Like what's
It's
the
like
point?
egg salad.
Like there's eggs,
Oh, that's sad.
eggs and mushrooms for the main course.
No, so wait, but that's
Joe,
actually kind of dope. Did you grow up with like these huge family Hanukkah parties that's just like 200 people there, 300?
No,
No?
not 200.
you only invite the ones that you're
First of all, you
close
have
with.
each side. So let's say my mother's side was one Hanukkah party, and let's say my mother has 7 siblings. She's one of 8. So the older siblings obviously have more kids than the younger ones. Let's just say the younger ones had 3, 4, and the older ones had 7, 8.
I'm just saying, if
It was
all
like,
the
okay,
wieners
but it never
showed up to an
was
event,
30,
you're
30.
bringing a community. You're bringing a
community of wieners.
a package of wieners, you could say. A
could say it that way.
pre-packaged wieners. You could
And
say.
we grilled also.
Yeah.
Wieners.
Are you close to any of your cousins?
Yeah, some of them, sure.
I know you're close to some of your siblings for sure, but are you close to any of your?
Some of them, yeah. I mean, it's just hard, honestly. As you
Everyone's
get
got
older,
like the cool
Yeah, it
cousins
is.
that they like, and the
as you
cousins they
get-
don't
no,
like.
I'm close with a lot of my cousins, even though they're not exactly like me. Especially, I'm Chavetz Chaim, and on my mother's side, no one's that type at all. So like,
Wait,
everyone's more.
you're able to like people that aren't exactly like you? That's really weird, dude. That is odd and unsettling. to
I
be
think
quite
it is.
frank.
I think it is at this point. Most people that know me, and you should know this at this point, that I am oddly able to, even though it does not seem like it, get along with people that are not exactly like
Yeah,
me.
you have a lot of non-binary friends. I've noticed. He doesn't even know what that means. He
I,
doesn't.
do, I
Bless
know what
his soul.
non-binary is. I don't have any non-binary.
Well, you said
friends.
it's such a silence after that. We're like, did he not realize I'm joking, or
No, it took a minute
do
for
you
me
know
to,
what they are?
No, I know what they are, but it took me a minute to remember what non-binary means.
Right, yeah.
Just because it's so not relevant to me, like I don't
Because
pay
you
much.
don't have a lot of
No, also I don't pay attention to it because it's to me idiocy, so I don't really spend time thinking about
Oh,
that
hot
word.
take label
Not a
punching
hot,
down.
It's not a hot take to me. It's really not a hot take. You're either one or the other. There's
I'm just grabbing the popcorn.
there's actually nothing hot take about it to me. Anyways, that was Chosen. Yeah. Moving on.
Wait, no, there's more to rip on Chosen.
Is there?
Okay. I'm just trying to think. No, there's okay. Let's move.
There's
on.
nothing.
Let's
to
get
do.
into
nothing else.
some news that's going on in the world.
Well, first of all, Dave Portnoy. Let's just get right into that. Bought back Barstool, and I didn't read the article.
You're gonna have to review the earlier. I don't have the context. I don't know Barstool
The
was
context.
sold.
Okay, so it's very simple. I'll give the quick context. The context
Context.
is Dave Portnoy started Barstool in 2004. He owned it 100% to 2016. It started making some money in like 2012. Like he was. If you watch, there's Barstool like videos of how they got started, and he has his ex on there. And she talks about how basically he literally gave away like his last $1,000 for like an event, like gambled it to like see if it would work, and he made like 10,000, like very like you can have real entrepreneurship, like heavy. Anyways, he started
Seat
making
his
money.
pants.
Yeah, like insane. He started making money just because of his conviction and his love for what he was doing. Anyways, he started making money like 2012. Bottom line, in 2016, he sold a 33% stake of 100% to the Chernin Group. It was called. That netted him 15 mil. That was his first time making money, like real, like significant cash. And then in 2020, Penn, Dave is very into gambling. Barstool, like it's a huge aspect.
Yeah, I know that.
So Penn is the national gaming company Penn, who has
bought it.
casinos around the world. They bought 33% of the company for $163 million in cash.
Like autistic level memory you got going on about this.
I've
Everyone
read
knows-
on this.
yeah,
I've read
everyone
on
knows
this a
everything.
whole bunch. So they own 33%, Chernin on 33%, and then in last year they bought out the entire rest of the company for $360 million roughly. They paid they paid out 33% to Chernin, and they basically owned the whole Barstool for $500.
He bought it back.
Dave basically
And they paid Dave $100 million. Or
they paid Dave $100 million in cash, or 50 in cash or something.
Whatever. It was $100 million
The point
overall,
is
I
he
think.
made $100 million of it. The point is that the central idea was that since Penn is very big into gambling and Dave has a tremendous audience, he has like real people that are diehards. So like the Stoolies. So that he would help bring up. They were going to open up bars and casinos everywhere across the U.S. Long story short, the media is obviously after him with the sex scandal and the gambling scandals that they're coming.
Whatever, just
they're regulated.
They're consistently after him in general because they don't like him because he is
very brash,
extremely brash,
as
and also and also may have actually sexually assaulted someone.
I don't believe that, but okay. I don't think that at all.
Meaning both can be true. He could have.
No, it could be true, but
I don't believe it.
I believe that the media has out to get him. I also believe.
No, there's nothing.
They've literally written hit
I
pieces.
said I believe you that the media's out to get him. I also wouldn't have a hard time believing Dave Portnoy may have had some iffy gray areas.
Why him then versus me and you? That's my only question.
Oh, more you. He's.
I don't see it at all. I don't understand. I'm being honest.
Whatever. Sure, maybe not.
I don't see it. I don't know why.
Guys because the type of guy who gambles his last $1,000 to make 10,000 because he's so those type of like master of the universe like just powerful personalities like the Trump personality, just the brash.
But he's not Trump. You have to know him.
Those guys bulldoze through other people.
But he's not like that. You have to understand.
He's not a psychopath.
No, not at all.
No, not at all.
Not even a little
not
bit.
at all. He's very, very.
He's a very middle of the road, like
logical.
Yes.
He's not even super Republican or conservative.
Well, it's not a politics thing. Does he care about people?
Yeah.
Yes. For I'll give one example. Like he cared about people. He had an employee who was probably making like, I don't know, $50,000-$60,000 a year. Like not big. He didn't matter to the company. It wasn't like he was like getting them tons of followers. So he said the N-word, okay, on a video by mistake.
Francis, right?
Okay? No. Mincy said, okay, he said he was just rapping along to rap lyrics. He
was rapping along.
Yeah, this guy, he's an out to lunch guy. But Penn basically made Barstool fire him. So Dave has his own company called Brick Watch Company. Dave literally hired him. Yeah, of course. Dave hired Mincy to be a advocate for brick watches. Okay, or whatever. I don't know exactly what he did for
saved
brick
his
watches.
ass.
Yeah, he basically was like, okay, I have to listen to Penn.
Do this, but
I have to fire you, whatever. The second that he bought back Barstool.
Oh, really? He hired him again?
He rehired Mincy.
I didn't know that.
You don't know this?
I didn't know he just
rehired Mincy on the first day.
I'm not holding as much day to day.
On the first day, he calls Mincy on the phone. Yeah, on the first day. Calls up Mincy and goes, hey, how you doing? He's like, do you want to come back to Barstool? We'd love to have you. He does care.
Dave is legit. He's a good dude. He's a good dude. Okay. Again, I'm not saying he doesn't like having sex with 20-year-old hot girls, but like I don't see this.
As long as consensual.
All I know is that like the things out there is like, okay.
By the way, that is a really, I'll get into this. I actually have this conversation a lot because I'm a huge hip hop fan, and like it is interesting like that. Like I think my hottest take is that like at the end of the day, it is black people's decision, but like I think it would be a good thing for the world if white kids could say the N-word at shows or along to rap. If you're like literally a part,
stop saying it also.
But that's
why can't that be an angle? You're not helping your cause.
Imagine because their word. Because I'm gonna say kike as many times as I want because I'm a Jew.
No, but I wouldn't sit there saying kike. That's not a good idea.
I would. I think it's fine. Look, I'm not getting into that because I think that's up to them. I'm just saying, and it is their choice. It is their choice.
You're just not. I would not tell.
Can I get my point out?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I just think the world would be a better place if we let white kids. Because they're celebrating the culture. They're there with the culture. They're with the kid's literally sitting next to his black friend at the Kendrick show, and he has to like blank his own like. It's like weird. It's a little weird. We can all agree it's a little weird. Right now, it's the right thing to do, but it's like
to me, it's a similar thing to me, it's a similar thing to women not wanting to be sexualized but being extremely sexual. It's a very similar concept. It's the same idea. You like it's not helpful to anyone in society when you want something to stop happening, but you sit there and promote the same behavior. It's a very similar
We're going to
concept.
try to have a logical... Okay, I hear what you're saying. I would answer back that the word has a lot of power as like we, as white people, not me and you, used to use it right bad. They use the word, and you're saying because they use the word, therefore we should be allowed to use the word because you use the word, but
it diminishes the significance of how bad the word is. That's it. It's in all the rap songs. It's all everything we listen to. It's just
but it's their word. But it is their. Meaning, I'm arguing that they should allow
if we
white
said
kids say
kike
it at
in
concerts.
every single sentence that we had, it would diminish the severity of the word kike.
Yeah, but you know what?
And I wouldn't give a shit. I'd be like, knock yourself out. We sit there and whip at it.
But context is important. How are they using the word? Is it with hate or is it with love?
But how are we
using the word?
The word right now?
Same thing.
No, so some white people probably would use it in hatred,
No,
but
but all
the
the
kid
ones-
at the rap concert is not. That's
you're
why
not
the
allowed to say
context
that.
is
But
very-
But then you're playing
Which
the
is
whole
what
game
I was
of-
arguing.
No,
Which is
but
what I'm
then what
saying.
I'm saying is you're playing the whole game of like,
Depends
well,
when.
how are you
Yeah.
using it? It's like every time
Why
a
is
white
that a
person-
game?
No, because
That's so
every
important.
it's
The
very
no,
context
but
is
subjective.
so
every,
subjective.
no, but context, but it's not. It's totally subjective. Every time a white person says it, then it's like,
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Why can't you say it in a grocery store? Because what did he mean? Maybe he just meant.
Let's say I was in the grocery store. I'm like,
maybe,
yo.
maybe he's just like, hey. Well, maybe the guy is like, maybe he knows someone that's his friend. He's just in the grocery store, and he just says it in a friendly way.
Right.
But is he not allowed to use it then?
No,
or is he allowed to use
so
it? Then?
again, I get my whole argument is yes, he would be, should be, it would not he should be. I think that'd be cool if he could say that. It is 100% black people's decision whether we can say that or not. White people don't get to decide if we use that.
Plug not to like if it's not a.
Right.
Can't throw in
That's
Gemara
my
terms.
point. No, he's saying that
yeah.
it doesn't help anyone. Whatever.
You don't hear my point at all.
I do hear your
I think
point.
the world
It's
would be
just-
better if they did, but I also think that is 100%
I think
black
the world
people's
would
choice.
be better if they never used
Just
it because
as
it's a
if-
bad word.
It's a fun word to say. It's not doesn't have to be a bad word. We could scrub that word clean. The issue is that there's going to be hateful people who will
you can't scrub
always
it. I'll tell you
use
why
that
you
word
can't-
hatefully
I'll tell you why you can't scrub it clean.
because too much history.
No, because the concept of the word is you can't scrub it clean. So the idea that you can scrub it clean is it's a never-ending art. It's a never-ending place because the people that want to scrub it clean, which you would say black people,
Some black people want to scrub it
some
clean,
black
yeah.
people, and even
some white people want to scrub it clean, yeah.
will never trust
Each
that
other.
they'll never trust that there's not another person out there that is not trying to scrub it clean. So then it's an ill fit. It's dead on arrival.
Here's what I
DOA.
say. Here's a good point. I actually
DOA.
just thought of this. Like, and I wish we had a black person who could talk to like actually have this like culture exchange. But like, I'm wondering the people who are going to use the N-word, let's say, or any slur in a hateful way, are going to use it regardless. The people who don't say the N-word are white allies who are like, oh, I don't want to,
Disrespectful.
Disrespectful.
Yeah.
But they're like, I love hip hop. I'm such a fan of the culture. Like, I'm part of you. I'm with you. They're the ones who want to use the word. So if black people were just like, if they decided, if there's a coalition, like, hey, we're cool with the N-word, it's not like, oh, you're giving permission to the hateful people are using it anyways.
So now you're saying basically everyone should be able to use it.
Not that
Yes,
hateful people.
but
what are you gonna do?
it's black people's decision. And by the way, I've been given the
Again.
N-word. I've been given the N-word card by a specific black friend, and I absolutely use it to the nth degree.
I'm just saying one thing. To me,
Only to him. Only to
I
him.
say
He was
this all
like,
the time.
absolutely,
I'm
call
just
me. Call me
saying
my
that.
I just say it
name.
doesn't help people.
Overall,
That's it.
overall
It's-
because it's something that's such a divisive thing, and it's never ever gonna. No one's ever gonna fully trust that it's gonna get scrubbed clean. Why have it out?
Do you believe that I think some words could get scrubbed clean? Good
think
example,
it
the
can
word
scrub
fuck.
clean.
I think the word fuck was so bad like 60 years ago, and now like people are like, oh, this fucking McNuggets. Like what? Like we kind of scrubbed it
I
clean.
don't know if we scrubbed it clean or if we made it.
We
something,
diminished it a lot.
which may be not a good thing.
That's a different argument. I was just true, but that's a different argument. My argument is, can words be scrubbed clean?
Well, I
Dude,
happen to
look
think
how
that
Australians use the word cunt, which I still have a hard time saying.
No, because if those things don't have precedents that are specific to a
hatred.
one thing
I
or
haven't
two
disagree. I
things.
think the F word is still very much not diminished in its actual form of what it means. I think it got diminished in all the other terms. Meaning the actual F word. I'm not
How did
getting
we
into
get
details.
here? How did we get to this conversation?
It's an
I don't know,
interesting
but I'm
conversation.
rolling. But I'm just saying the actual F word itself, in its term that it was originally used for, is not scrubbed at all, and it shouldn't be scrubbed. And it would be a bad thing to me if it was scrubbed.
It's just a word. I'm playing
no,
devil's
there's-
advocate, but it's like just a word.
No, it's not.
It's
Not if
also
you
a
say
very-
I want to that person. It's very different when you say, oh, I want to get a fucking drink. That's two totally different connotations of the word. Totally. It's not even remotely close. One is an act, one is just a verb. It's like,
But why is one bad and one good? Or
'Cause
are
one is-
you arguing that one's bad and one's good?
yes, 100% I'm arguing one's bad one. One is
Why?
literally like just a mad thing. It's just like I'm angry about something, and one is describing
The act of sex
yes, and
but
one
in a whatchamacallit way.
in a
It's
very
usually used-
graphic.
in a more animalistic
Yes,
way.
correct.
way, yeah.
In a hot way.
Okay.
In a hot way.
Whatever it is,
Yeah, it
it's-
could be or it cannot
could be a
be.
way that could be not. That might.
It's more. What's the word I'm looking for?
If someone were to
certain
say,
things-
I
no,
want
no,
to.
this is what I would say. There are certain things in life that are meant to be public, and certain things that are meant to be private, regardless of whether they are things that are not bad or not good. It doesn't matter bad, good, this or that. There are certain things that are meant to be private, meant to be public.
Right.
The F word in that regard, or dirty talk, whatever you want
of
to
course.
say,
It's more of a private
is a
thing.
private thing.
Yeah, but
the second that
but
it's
would you
public,
say that about someone who's like, I would like to have sex with that person? You'd be like, oh yeah, you could say that, that's fine. Why? Because I use
because
the,
that word, because that
fuck.
specific,
Correct.
because that
word
specific
demonstrates a much
it's like
more
any
significant
word. Wait,
thing.
hold up. It's the same thing. It's like any word.
Yeah.
There are words that describe things harsher and words that describe things less harsh.
Correct.
And I would say in the first place, the
It's more aggressive for sure.
it's an aggressive word.
The aspect of
Totally.
it.
Yeah, there's
so
an
it
aggressive
It does not
aspect.
refer to
There's an aggressive,
the
dirty
beautiful
aspect
part.
to it.
Correct. It does not refer to the beauty of sexual.
It's the same
intercourse.
reason why it's the same reason
And the
why
love of sexual.
it's the same reason
It's a
why
lust-based word.
But you know what?
Why-
There's different. But guys, there's different types of sex. Sometimes you want to have beautiful,
Yes, but these
beautiful
things are
sex, like we talked about with the sex therapist.
correct.
Sometimes
So
you want
then
to fuck.
there are things that are
And
done
I think that people should be
private-
allowed to say that.
So private and
And
public.
they do.
And I think sex in general should be a private subject, not a public subject. It's not something that is done in a public setting for a reason.
It's interesting.
It's a private act.
I think that modern
There's a reason why
society
you can't just do
definitely-
it on the subway. And if you do, you go
Get
to
arrested.
jail.
Yeah, that's.
You should be. Should you just be able to have sex wherever you want?
I'm actually like really right now live in time, like actually like trying to figure out where my actual line is, and subject to change. I'm a human being, so I'm in flux. I am wondering if on some
we
level
should
I
be able to
believe
have
that
sex
as
on the
long as
subway.
we know that if trains were 18 plus, yeah, you could fuck on a train. I'd be totally cool with it.
No,
100%.
You're literally
That's a total.
I'm thinking this out. Thinking this through. No, because if the fact that a kid could walk on, no, you can't. You
No,
can't be
even not kids. What does that mean?
So wait,
Fucking
wait,
the train.
hold on, but here's my
If
question.
I'm watching Shmulik, I would rather watch two people have sex than watch Shmulik pick his nose on the train. So why not watch two people have sex?
Because it's,
the beautiful
it's not,
act
it's
of
not about
lovemaking.
what you'd rather do. It's the question of it's
Morality.
a question of morality. It's not even about rather. Or
Would it
rather.
not make your daily commute a little bit more interesting if you were watching people have
I-
coitus? Would it not make it a little bit more fun?
I honestly don't
You're
like
on-
watching it on the subway. Like it's just not something I would want to do.
Oh, you're gonna go home and use your VR headset to watch Pornhub? Like this is live, baby.
I'd much rather make a decision that
Yeah,
it's like
actively,
anything.
yeah.
Oh, so that's the
actively-
consent factor. Is I didn't
Oh,
want to see it.
So that's
That's
for
a good
sure. Consent's a good
Which
point
is
on that
why
one.
I'm unveiling my idea officially today on the pod of one subway car being the sex subway car. The others are for regular, just accountants, and then the freaks, the real freaks who are also accountants, are going into the black. It's painted black, obviously, with black lights, of course, graffiti, whatever. And then you go on that subway, and it's just a sex party on your way to Golden Sachs.
I just think there's a.
That's my version of Daybreaker.
There's certain
Anyways, moving
You guys
on.
can't argue for this.
Moving on.
Brilliant idea.
Anyways, talking
Mark
about,
Cuban, I want $1 million.
Talking about.
Oh, we were on Barstool.
We were on Barstool.
Got way
By the way, the entire podcast, we have just taken topics and burnt them to a crisp like
Good.
for 22 minutes.
I like it.
But I'll tell you.
Get
So on
philosophical,
Barstool, so the Barstool thing. Dave bought back Barstool
Yeah.
for $1.
It's unclear what that means. I
What does
don't
that
understand
mean?
what that means.
Basically, what happened is as follows.
That's not how money works.
What happened is, how I understand it, is that basically Penn wanted to
Penn from Penn and Teller.
Penn from Penn and Teller. Yes, correct.
Penn and Teller.
Penn and Teller. Penn from you, Penn Badgley, wanted.
Yeah, nice.
No, Penn wanted to get more ability to get more casinos, gambling, things like that.
Yeah.
And it's a very regulated industry.
Yeah.
Okay.
As it should
So
be.
anyways, the regulated industry is obviously very, very straightforward, and they don't like what my father would call monkey business. And Dave Portnoy is filled with monkey business. So the fact that Penn was, having coitus with Dave Portnoy, they decided
They weren't good partners.
correct. That the regulated industry of gambling was not, basically Penn wasn't getting a lot in the industry.
But not to
that
get
they
too
wanted.
technical,
Well,
so he now owns it?
So now
He owns Barstool 100%. They gave
Dave
it back
owns
to
it. They basically gave it back to him. If it ever goes on, if it ever sells,
Mm-hmm.
if he ever monetizes it and it sells, so monetize, I think, is if he ever goes public, like an IPO,
Yeah.
right, and puts on a stock exchange, or if he ever sells the company again, Penn gets 50% of the sale or 50% of the stocks. So they still own technically 50%.
He gets to keep his entire share of 100 milli?
Yeah. He gets to keep everything.
He got a
You
good deal.
serious?
He gets to keep 100 million.
Holy smokes.
Big Cat and KFC, they got payouts.
Everyone's good.
Everyone gets to keep everything they get to keep.
And he gets 50%
They
of the
lost
sale?
$850 million on the investment.
Are you
That's what they
serious?
say. Yes.
Do you think?
Penn lost
Wow.
but
Hold on. And he gets to keep, just to clarify, if he sells again,
If he
50%
sells again,
he
he gets-
still keeps?
Yes.
That's insane, dude.
But if he
Bro,
doesn't,
he made out like a bandit.
Yeah, because they couldn't get any of their they couldn't get
I know.
anywhere in their industry that they wanted to get, so it was worth it for them to lose on $850
No,
How
I
much-
got
how
it.
much you think
also,
he's
they
paying?
partnered. They also partnered with ESPN.
Right, they partnered with ESPN for an ability like a billion.
They automatically made back their money.
They made back their money by
Fuck
doing
ESPN,
that.
honestly.
How much money do you think he's paying? Like,
So anyways,
like
Dave
the
Portnoy's
Tommy
a
Smokes?
legend. Anyways,
80 grand.
oh, so
100
anyways,
grand.
Dave Portnoy's a legend. He now owns the company 100% again, and he says he's never selling. One of the greatest things that happened is that he got back into the office. Now you own the company, so you care a lot more about how it's doing, right? Because you're not just, you know, you care a lot more about it when every
day, yeah.
every day, whatever you make and whatever cash flow you have that's the money your company makes, and that's how much you make. You're not just getting a salary from Penn or whatever it is, if that's what was happening. He basically came into the office at 9:50 in the morning, and he's like, and no one was there. He walks into his headquarters in New York, and he's like, no one's there. He's like, he takes me, he's like, I don't fucking understand how no one is in the building the first day. They know that I bought back Barstool. They know that the boss is in the building for the first time in months.
Were they doing it on purpose?
No.
He
And
just
he's
went
literally
haywire.
taking. He went haywire. He's like, I don't fucking understand. Okay. He takes a video of like the space where like 4 or 5
Tommy,
of the
all those
biggest
guys.
creators, Tommy,
Glenny.
Marty Mush, Glenny
Balls.
Balls, like all these guys. He's like, anyone besides for Caleb Presley, has a Sunday conversation and can probably make money on his own. Any of these other guys, he's like, literally, if they die today, no one remembers them. I don't understand why they're not in the office. You see Tommy walk in with like a Team Portnoy thing at 9:50 with a coffee in his hand. He walks in, and Dave goes, Tommy, did you not think to come in early today because it was the first day I bought back Barstool and like you knew I was gonna be here? He's like, it's 9:50. What are you talking about? He's like, yeah, it's 9:50, Tommy. He's like, bright and early.
Tommy's great.
And he just goes this. So then he takes a video. Dave takes a video afterwards of still no one there, and you see Tommy is one of the guys there. He's like burping everyone, and Tommy just sitting there going like this.
It's great. It's very funny.
Tommy was. There's a word in Yiddish we use. Zskite.
He's a Zskite, and the
Cutie pie.
the
Chutzpah.
dry chutzpah that he has is hilarious.
Yes.
Good man.
Anyways,
Good man.
it was unbelievable.
I can't believe he got to keep the whole 100
the whole
million.
100 million got to keep.
Are you sure?
100%.
That's crazy.
And as a Jew, I'm happy whenever another Jew makes out like a bandit.
I guess because
Thank
there's
you,
no way
Lord.
they could get out. Honestly, there's no way they could get out of that. I mean, he
Right,
signed the contract. What are they
and
gonna
they
do?
needed to get out of it because they needed to get in. They
weren't getting what they needed.
They weren't
Also,
getting
you know what's
anything
interesting
out of
is
the,
that
out of
they
the
bought
industry.
what's interesting is that they bought the second part of it like 6 months ago. I don't understand why they bought like the last 33% for like 365 mil if they knew this wasn't going to work. It's crazy.
I don't know.
Anyways, Dave, good for you, man.
Anyways,
I love
Dave,
you.
legend,
Yeah.
status, Laibel is going to think about him tonight.
What do you think?
Laibel has 100% pleasured himself to the thought of Dave Portnoy. There is not a doubt in my mind. There
Okay,
is not a doubt in my
fine.
mind.
No problem. No
It
problem.
is a sexual relationship.
No problem.
Also, Dave Portnoy loves Tom Brady, and so between the two,
course.
So
Yes.
so between the two, Labels,
Love triangle.
yeah,
Love triangle.
yeah, Labels. That is, most people's like who your celebrity crushes and who would like you most want to have it with.
Those two.
Tom Brady and Dave Portnoy.
Throw a Margot Robbie.
You don't have to throw in the beard. We know who it is.
Anyways, what do you think about this chick that just interviewed Drake? Do you see this going around?
This chick, this broad.
Bobbi.
Is that a bad word?
No, I don't know. I
No,
don't
do you see this girl? Do you even know what I'm talking about?
Bobbi.
That's her name,
Tyloff?
Bobby?
Bobby something.
Alof, Talof.
Aloft.
First of all, she is. I like that she exists because she is keeping on the legacy of between two friends of Zach Agunahs. Same exact type of like.
What's she doing?
She's antagonist. She like kind of hates the guests. That's her whole shtick. She's playing a character.
Right.
She's super dry and she like makes them squirm and feel uncomfortable.
Right.
And the ones that the good interviews are when they play along with it.
Yeah.
I mean, she like
It's
literally.
less about her hating the guest, I think, and it's more about when the guest tries to get something out that's good.
Yeah.
She just
Shuts
shuts
it down. Yeah.
What
She's
do you
good
mean?
at what she does.
Explain what you mean.
Meaning like in Between Two Ferns, which was a show with Zach Galifianakis, where like he's the guy from The Hangover, Alan.
Yeah, sure.
He basically made fun of people. So he's like Hillary Clinton would come on and he'd be like, so what's it like being the first woman to run for president and not get it.
Right.
Like he would literally just troll. Like,
He'd troll.
Okay.
He would troll. So
she's trolling.
So she's trolling because every time that she gets on a podcast, and every time you would say you want to roll, let's say something's happening, you want to roll, you guys are rolling, right? She won't let a roll happen. Like if someone makes a bit,
she keeps it choppy and awkward.
Right. I know. I see that. Yeah, that much I see.
Which like is very difficult for the guest.
Right.
Her whole point is to basically be like
make you uncomfortable.
To be fair,
Cuban. She did one with Cuban. Did you see that?
Yeah, I watched it.
He was good, I thought.
This whole content, Caleb Presley also to some degree does this also.
Yes.
This has become a new type of podcast content where
satire.
It's not. It's like it's satire of a podcast. It's like they're not really interviewing you. They're kind of just
right.
But everyone thinks she's an industry plant. I don't think she's an industry plant. I think that she got very lucky. She had Funny Marco and he like got her Drake. But props to Drake.
She just talked about how she got Drake.
Yeah. How did she get Funny Marco in the first place?
I think it's very possible that, first of all, very important factor about her, she is a comedian. She did stand up and
I don't know anything about her.
And she had a large TikTok following.
Oh, so she did.
She had a TikTok
not a huge, but she
so
had a
it's
large.
different.
Yeah.
Still exploded on a level.
Okay, but it's very different when you have.
She's a good
any
networker.
sort of in general in life. When you have any sort of momentum, it's much easier than what they say.
For sure.
It's much easier to make 100 million off of having 10 than it is to make
we're
1 million off
right
having
now.
0.
Yeah, I literally was. About to
We're
say
experiencing. It's hard to build a podcast.
Yeah, it's much easier once you have. In order to
Laibel, when we eventually do Mislabeled again, like the next time you try to make a podcast, can we like first get famous on a different app before we start a podcast? Because this shit is difficult. It is. So when this eventually fails, can we get famous for like, I don't know, like OnlyFans, and then...
First of all, this is not failing. I want to be very, very clear. Second of all, I know it's a bit. I know. I got that much.
Even though he knows it's a bit, he's like, no, but
took him like 12 seconds into the bit, though.
It did, but...
You couldn't let that bit breathe like Zach, but it won't fail. But it won't.
He's like,
but it won't. It's my baby. We can't, Zach. You don't.
I can't let this bit go.
Within the world of the bit that I let go for 10 seconds before I had a panic attack.
Hearing the words when there are no words that should ever come out of any of my co-hosts' mouths.
When this eventually absolutely
By the way, you
dies,
could have
like
ended there. There should be no words coming out of my co-hosts' mouths.
Mislabeled is gonna go down as the
Zach,
worst
shut the
failure.
fuck up.
I'm just gonna make it a score. This is you're gonna put this on your tombstone.
Either way, did you see she was on Dave's podcast? She's a totally different human being. She's like a regular person.
She is playing a character.
It's amazing.
She's a comedian.
I loved it.
She's a comedian. Yeah.
I
She's a pretty normal, regular woman.
Yeah, she totally took off like insane.
Good for her. I love seeing other creators.
You know what I loved? I think I sent it to you.
What?
Maybe I didn't.
What?
But she talks about how she gets guests, how she got guests, and it eerily reminded me in some ways about our own experience, or my own experience, I should say, of getting guests.
I do want to give our fans a little bit of like the behind the scenes of how we get guests because it's so interesting.
I'd rather not.
Oh, you'd rather not?
Yeah. Why are we giving?
Can we tell me a little bit about the Instagram? Whatever. You don't want to
No,
talk.
we don't want to give.
You don't want to trade secrets away.
Yeah, correct.
No
I'm not
secrets.
talking about what my angles. By the way, people came over to me last night. 2 people came over to me like, listen, at Chosen Comedy Festival, it was that 2 nights ago already, and said to me, they're like, look, I don't know how many followers you have, I don't know. The guests you guys get, holy shit.
Yeah, what they don't know is I'm really good at giving head. So
that's the angle, you think?
That's what they don't know. That's what they don't know.
Okay, fine. I'll give them Laura's number.
Secret weapon, and I can be rented out, but no, like okay, fine. I won't talk about it, but like it is things open up for you when you realize that like you can just talk. You can kind of talk to anyone.
Do you think that she has like she's off to the races, or this is something that's
Off to the races.
You think it's off to the races?
Yes.
I mean, look, there'll be
a
cap. She's not Rogan. She's not.
I don't know
Rogan,
a lot of. I don't know so much in the podcast world, but I don't think there's so many people doing what she's doing. The satire area.
She's doing something pretty unique.
Yeah, pretty unique. So whenever you're doing something
to
pretty
be
unique,
fair, I really want Caleb to leave Barstool and do his own. He deserves a 2-hour show. He's such a talent. He's such a talent. Caleb, please come on the pod. He's such a talent, and I want him longer form. Not that he's not killing it at Barstool. I love his content, but I would love for him and Glenny Balls to have like their own 2 hours thing and away from Barstool, like full creative control. Because I think Caleb is.
Glenny Balls just eats ice cream.
Yeah, but he's good at it.
Okay, last thing, not last thing, far from last thing yet, but
I know you're gonna bring up. Can I guess the Zuck?
Yeah. So I want to talk about that for a second. Zuckerberg, Musk,
Cage fight in the Coliseum.
Yeah,
unbelievable. First of all, the fact that
is that happening?
They say that it's in serious talks.
In the Coliseum.
In the Coliseum.
Who do you have
Rome.
to talk to get to book the Coliseum? Like who?
Yeah,
who owns the Coliseum?
So it said it actually on the
City of Rome.
No, there is.
No, it's like one dude. It's a Jew.
No.
It's a Jew.
It's
for sure. Schleimowitz.
I have to look on the.
He owns the lease. He's got a 30%.
Where I saw the whole thing
ground
on
lease on it.
the internet. I have
He's
to
like,
look at exactly what it was.
I got it on an estate sale of the Coliseum. I used I used food
Musk.
stamps.
It's great.
I'm literally gonna look at it right now. I forgot what the name of the person was.
Kind of crazy that
My
we're
question is, how much is a ticket?
They were contacted by Italy.
How much is a ticket going to be to get into that?
so much money.
What's so much money? Probably the most ever.
It
has to be the most
Tickets
ever.
are gonna start at $50,000, I think.
I think 50 to get in the door. No,
To get in the door?
No,
Because it's gonna. Yeah, I do.
5 to 10.
5 to. That's still a lot. That's a ton.
Yeah, it is a ton, but
It's.
I don't think
Can
50.
we talk about
to
like
get in.
more?
The question is how many seats, but
More. Well, the Coliseum's huge.
right. But it's not going to be as many seats as the
Italy
Coliseum.
is interested. I love it. It's like the country of Italy is interested.
We will take these two autistic people and let them fight in our country because they have a lot of money.
That is kind of funny. It's like
It's also a little fucked up that we're having people fight in the Coliseum. Even entertain that idea.
Yeah,
we do need to
because-
remember the Coliseum was the most immoral thing of all time. It was
Yeah.
literally
People
murder.
killed each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we're like, it's a weird farce of society that we're gonna be like, yeah, they
we were
can
actually
fight.
there. I was like, so it's
were,
it's,
yeah.
it's very
And they talked
weird.
about it.
They
They were
talked
like-
about it. Like they
The
just
last
throw
time
people in there. and fight
Zuckerberg's
to the death.
Jewish. The last time a Jew was in the Coliseum, he was not there because he was fun. It wasn't pay per view. He was there
were
to
we
die.
Oh, is that what it was?
They used to absolutely kill Jews that
Yeah.
way. Yeah, they
Why
would
did they
throw
kill
them to-
Jews?
They would have them
To
fight
fight?
lions or fucking.
Oh, that's what would happen?
yeah. If the little
Saying they
midrash says
mass-
it's to be believed.
No, I'm asking you, did massacre. What did he say?
The
What?
little measures says is to be believed.
Yeah,
That's unbelievable.
I didn't check that with Time magazine. I think it's Little Midrash says told me. The little Jew books told me that the Yidden, the Jews, used to fight the lions and the Romans.
Really?
in the Col- I think so.
Yeah, I read it in one of Chaim Walder's books.
Zuckerberg's gonna be the first Jew to go in there on his own terms ever.
It's like
I'm not
the first
happy.
dude to go into Mercedes.
Yeah. I'm not happy. I don't want Zuckerberg to be the most successful Jew at the Coliseum ever. He's not my favorite Jew. He's a little weird guy.
my gosh.
Oh my god.
Are you more of a fan of Musk than
But
Musk?
also, you know what's gonna be
I-
great?
Who do you want to win? Let's just.
I want
so
Zuckerberg to win because it's funnier if Zuckerberg wins.
Before the winning, you know, before UFC fights, they do the weigh-ins and like they're in like there's like just Zuckerberg's body and Musk's body, just like remember we were making fun of what.
Could you imagine them? Are you imagining them lining up?
What did you say? He looks like the
Musk is the most in shape, out of shape person ever. He also has weird nipples, yes. And he's vampire white. The man has never seen sunlight.
I just think that if he danced a little bit weird, he would just get Zuckerberg off his game.
He could distract Zuckerberg.
just
He
gets
could shine the
distracted.
sun off of his weird nipples and blind Zuckerberg. My money's on Zuckerberg. First of all, here's the thing.
I think
Elon,
Zuckerberg would be dirty.
think
Honestly,
so- yeah.
I think he would be dirty.
Zuckerberg's a killer.
Yes, I think
he?
Zuckerberg. I think Zuckerberg would be
More
like
than
one of
Musk?
those guys that like
Elon
puts a finger in your ear
Elon
real
likes
hard.
Elon likes to be like anti-trans on Twitter and like loves free speech. He likes noodling people with memes. Zuckerberg fucked with like Zuckerberg's evil. Like Zuckerberg is a dog. Zuckerberg's capable of murder. 100% in my mind. He'll kill him. He'll kill Elon.
wow,
He'll
okay.
shank him. He has a secret knife. He'll shank him.
Yeah, no,
It's
I'm
gonna
telling
end in
you,
blood.
He's the type of guy that's like, he would take his finger and like shove it into Elon's ear until like
his
bled.
eyes. In his eyes. He's gonna-
Zuckerberg
Zuckerberg's
would
first
just
move.
gouge his eyes. Literally.
Make no mistake, Zuckerberg is a cold killer.
Really?
You have like 6 to
I'm
8 week training
bullshitting.
sessions.
Uh-huh.
Like you know these guys go into boxing. Like they have like 8 week. Like Logan Paul's now fighting whatever. He's supposed to be fighting in October. Or
What do
something.
I have to
Another
do to
person,
make
whatever.
myself see Logan Paul less of him? I
You
don't
can't.
like him.
You can't.
He's good at what he does.
He's there. He's there, and he's
very
there.
annoying.
He's
He's
there,
like-
and now he's getting married to
model.
He's reaching-
Nina something.
Agdal.
He's reaching like MGK levels of like I don't want to see that tatted white boy anymore. He's so annoying.
No, he's not tatted. That's Jake Paul, if anything.
Oh, I was thinking of Jake this whole time. I was
yeah,
thinking of
Jake
Jake.
is
Jake's
the
the
tatted
more dumb, annoying one of the
Yeah,
two.
okay.
They're both bad, but I don't like Jake at all.
But they're out there. They're out
Yeah,
there,
they're out
and
there.
they're. Oh, and there was
Are we gonna be able to watch? How much is it gonna cost to pay per view for the fight? I want to watch the fight.
Depends if you
Obviously,
want to watch it on Twitter or Facebook.
Twitter will be free.
Oh, they're gonna.
I have no clue. I made
That's
that up.
crazy. They
but
both
that would be
own media
crazy.
show-
They found the media thing.
What if it's like, that'd be the funniest thing ever if it's like Twitter and Facebook aren't showing the fight and it's only on like Peacock. Like Peacock has the official rights to
No, I was gonna say otherwise. I was gonna say, well,
Tubi.
What if
Tubi
you,
is showing
what
the
if you
fight.
go on Twitter, or like you go on Twitter to like the dark places of Twitter to like find it?
I was gonna say better.
The dark
For
fight,
free,
you mean like
for
the
free.
super anti-Semitic Semitic parts that are really easy to get to within 2 seconds. Every 4 days, the word Jews is trending on Twitter, and within 3 clicks, I'm on someone's page with 30,000 followers going like, I just think that like Mel Gibson's still in shape as a 7-year-old because he hates Jews. Like, what?
I was thinking a totally different angle. What would happen if
Twitter is a fucking dumpster fire of anti-Semitism right now? It's insane.
What would happen if Musk and Zuckerberg, right? Let's say one of them won, but the other one's social media beat the other ones. Meaning, like, it's on both social medias. Zuckerberg's social media has more views than Musk,
but he
Twitter,
loses.
But he loses.
I truly mean this. I'm not going to be happy with the fight unless one of them is hospital or death. Like, I want a bloody. I don't want a fair fight.
Yeah, I don't want one to like. It's in the 9th round and like by decision. I don't want by decision. I want Elon Musk to like sit on Mark Zuckerberg's face, like like give him like a wedgie.
And Zuckerberg is out of the fight because he has contracted pink eye.
Like that would be the best part. Like 2 little kids, like you see them fighting for the first 3 or 4 rounds. Then someone says something mean to like someone, but like they're probably sensitive. Like I could see Mark Zuckerberg being super sensitive. And Elon Musk going like, I have more money than you now, and Tesla's worth more than Facebook, so F you. And Mark Zuckerberg just like gouging his eyes and then like mooning him. That's what I could see the fight becoming by like round 5.
I think Musk is soft. Zuckerberg.
I totally disagree with you, by the way.
I think Zuckerberg's taking this in 3 rounds.
No way. No way. The only way, okay, just to clarify, Musk is not soft. The only way Zuckerberg takes this in 3 rounds, clearly, to be totally honest, is just maybe fighting skills. He just has more experience.
I think he's fighting. You can clearly tell.
Elon is way bigger though.
But
Elon is bigger than him.
I disagree with you. Musk is soft. I don't see that.
We all know from interviewing Remy Franklin when we talked with we interviewed a guy who's in jiu-jitsu. Fighting skills worth so much more than weight.
That's
worth
so
much more.
For sure.
And Zuckerberg does seem to be. He's constantly on social media sparring with Lex Friedman, for example. Apparently, Lex Friedman, by the way, is like a fucking black belt. Like he could kill someone. Yeah, Lex is a very impressive human being. But yeah, he could.
Did you watch the interview with him and Danielle?
No, I don't care about his weight politics. I don't know why. I don't watch it.
No, Netanyahu is someone.
I watched the really dumb. I watched him interview Mark Norman, like the people that don't matter.
I figured you would hate Netanyahu, so you would watch that interview because you like Lex.
I probably should hate it. I know. I don't know. I don't have opinions.
There were also. And after this, there were 2 other things that happened in sports because we're doing on sports. Yeah. So obviously, we'll get into the Jose Ramirez thing, but there's a thing that happened. I saw it probably like 5 minutes after I left work today. And you guys both don't know about this. Chad Johnson, who was a wide receiver for the Bengals, one of the best wide receivers.
Everyone knows Chad Johnson.
Chad Johnson, one of the best. He went on a podcast and said that he used to take Viagra and Red Bull before games in order to get his blood flow better so that he would run faster and jump higher.
So was he hard?
No, he would only take a half a pill. He wouldn't take a full pill. So he went on the Pat McAfee show, and he's like, the Red Bull gets you like whatever, and like the Viagra gets your blood flow going.
Right.
Wait, that's actually genius.
He was like a performance enhancing drug. And so Pat McAfee asked him why he didn't take a full pill. He's like, can't be walking around there like
can't be walking on the field hard.
Yeah, he's like, then it wouldn't work. So then Pat McAfee, he's like, basically what you're saying, he's like horizontally you were working and vertically you were working. Red Bull and Viagra. He was just like he was rocking.
Listen. If you go on a football pitch and you're like fully hard, you're gonna see a lot of tight ends. It's not good. It's not good.
To me,
wow, that
was a dad joke.
Jack, I caramba.
To me, that's an unfair advantage. Story. That's like.
Do you think like college? Do you think frat bros are gonna start doing like that's gonna be the pregame drink? Is gonna be you're gonna see at frat colleges half a Viagra pill crushed into a Red Bull. Yeah.
It's like
what do you think I'm on these podcasts, bro?
No, like they're testing people.
You guys ever taking a Viagra?
No,
I've never done it. I want to try it just for fun.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Why not?
You know what I say? I think we should all go to Times Square
my
and we should all pop one and see who gets a boner.
Who gets arrested? I just look. The Adderall hasn't been working. My ADHD is getting really bad. Maybe Viagra will do something. I don't know. Yeah. I seem to be able to focus. Usually.
What's the difference between Cialis and Viagra?
The same thing.
Same thing.
Same thing between like Tylenol and ibuprofen.
Oh, it is. I don't know the differences. I get so overwhelmed. I'm in CVS and I go to that section.
Why are you in that section? What?
No, if I need Tylenol.
No. I also thought that he's like.
Yeah, you set that
up.
I get
so overwhelmed when I'm one of those men's. When I'm on Hims.
Yeah.
You know Hims.
I see that advertising.
I get so overwhelmed. I just don't know.
But I'm trying to please the missus. It is our date night. We have one every 6 months. I take her to Outback Steakhouse, and then we have coitus, missionary
just the way
style.
that you
Sorry, I was misunderstood. I'm just saying, Kyle and I were over in New York City. I had the same thing when I was trying to get.
We put on Big Bang Theory on mute, and I take a Viagra, and
When I was trying to get toothpaste, literally the other day, I wanted to get a good toothpaste. I just wasn't sure which one was good. There's literally 150 options. It is so overwhelming.
So
I hate wasting my money, bro. I bought a $15 toothpaste, which was the most expensive one there, assuming it would be the best one. It tasted like dog shit.
First of all,
because the expensive ones are going to be like organic and stuff. That's going to taste bad.
But one of the he probably bought like the ones that have no
no like fake flavors.
Yeah, no
chemicals.
and have no sulfate in them or anything, and like doesn't clean your teeth.
No,
but
why
one of
would
the
an
things in the
expensive toothpaste
industry
not clean your teeth?
Yeah,
no,
it's the
because
best one.
they don't have certain chemicals in them, whatever things that actually
they're
clean.
safer.
Like they're safer. Like they don't have fluoride.
Wait,
or they
no.
don't have all
Well,
these
I don't like what
things.
you're saying at all, because what you're saying is that the toothpaste that clean our teeth are bad for us.
They
What?
have certain
What's
no,
that
not
about?
necessarily bad for you. They have certain things. They have certain
Fluoride
chemicals in them.
Isn't that the
Fluoride,
shit
different
that's
things.
not supposed to be in water?
Yeah, but you use
So we're
it.
putting that on our teeth
No,
nightly?
yeah, sure, of course.
You're saying it's small amounts.
Small amounts,
But
yeah.
clearly some people think it's bad enough that they're...
Yeah, correct. Which is why some people don't take fluoride. There's like it's like
so
the
your
anti-vaxxers.
brother's a dentist. Should
Yes,
I be?
my brother. You
should I be
yes.
using
Fluoride, yes.
He's
I would say yes. But I was going to say my brothers are a dentist, and I think they would back me up on this, which is that one of the industries that is the dumbest in the entire world is like the industry of like
Dental?
what they sell in terms of like toothpaste and mouthwash and like the
They all do the same
Diamond
thing.
Crest or whatever. He's like, you don't need a toothbrush that's more than $1.99, and you don't need the $2.50 Crest that is just white paste.
Yeah.
That's it. Is just as good as like a $12 one. They're just selling you bullshit.
No, I'm okay
He's
with
like, he
paying...
will literally tell you that. It's like, and you know how you
Toothpaste
know
flavor
it?
is
You know how you
important.
know it? Because when you call out of a dentist office, they give you
Yeah,
the
samples.
crappiest stuff.
Yeah.
It's like,
I call it dentist schlachmanis. That was for the Jews.
Anyways,
and then there was the Jose Ramirez.
yeah, what was the Jose Ramirez? The Jose Ramirez thing was
Oh my
crazy. Did
God.
you see that in Cleveland? You're not a sports guy.
I think I know who Jose Ramirez
Jose
is.
Ramirez
No,
is the
I don't know
third
who it
baseman
is.
for the Cleveland Guardians, Indians.
Yeah,
They're the
I don't
Cleveland
follow
Indians to me.
sports.
Okay, so
You didn't see
he's
the
third
brawl? There was a
baseman.
huge brawl
There
in
was
baseball.
Oh, on the
There
pitch?
was a brawl. There was a
On the
brawl.
pitch?
I love calling the pitch. I just love
Also,
saying
by
that.
the way, you know the pitch that you said in football thing for the Chad Johnson thing is
Yeah.
the pitch in football is soccer. And
What?
when people call it the pitch,
It's only in soccer?
it's only in soccer.
No, I
no,
have
There's
European
no such
sensibilities.
thing.
I call
There's no
American
such
football the pitch. No, that's for me.
You
My European sensibilities tell me that I call an NFL game the pitch. I do, and I'm allowed
No.
to because I have European
You
sensibilities.
honestly are not allowed to watch
like-
football this coming season. You're banned.
I'm never allowed to watch football. I'm that guy at the you do not invite me to a Super Bowl
mean,
party. I'll be
Zach's
like, do you think the best college team could beat the worst NFL team? I'm that guy asking like the dumb girlfriend questions.
Zach
I
also-
literally would.
Zach-
I'd kick you out.
Zach also told me he's starting to get back into basketball. Could you imagine that?
Plain. No, I do enjoy the fundamentals, Rabbi said.
Oh,
the
yeah,
fundamentals. I like
Could you
basketball.
roast him right now,
No,
Zach?
but before we roast him, the Jose Ramirez
Yeah.
fight. Basically, he slides into second base under someone, and the guy he gets up and they were talking, whatever. They take off
Literally?
they literally take off their gloves, and this guy
Squared
just
up.
squares up.
Yeah.
The
Nice.
White Sox guy squares up.
Sure.
Okay. And they start punching.
Oh, I did see this.
Jose Ramirez
Clanks it.
whack!
Thanks. Oh, I actually goes down.
Yeah,
I did
bro.
see
The
it.
guy just. Dude, that was the best thing that happened to Cleveland since LeBron won the championship in 2016.
It was a right hook, right?
Yeah, it was
Tremendous.
a right hook.
If I remember
tremendous
correctly,
right
it was
hook.
a little bit of a
It was-
weak right
It was,
hook.
it was also lucky as hell.
Yeah,
The guy's
yeah.
face was down.
Yeah,
He was like,
he just went
he
for
was
a
just
total
like,
swing.
It was a lucky swing. He was actually like getting his ass kicked, and then he
Not
kind
a
of
kick.
no,
he
they
No,
whatever.
he
They
was
just,
losing that fight,
It
and
was
then he got
not
a
a
lucky.
controlled punch.
it was
That's the
not a
point.
controlled punch.
He just swung because he was trying to save his life because that guy was
Correct.
very
And
intimidating.
What were they
he
fighting about?
landed. I don't know. They probably said something. He probably was getting up and from the base when he slid.
Probably
and the
politics.
Guy,
Something.
Probably
Jose
politics.
Ramirez is like a hardline, like anarchist liberal, like he wants to
Tim
abolish like police, and the other guy was just like Trump MAGA 2024, and they were
Tim
just
Anderson's probably American. Jose Ramirez is probably from somewhere in the Dominican Republic, and he probably told him to go back to the Dominican Republic. He's like, no.
like, you think he said something racist?
I have no
I'd
clue.
swing at
Probably,
someone.
I don't
Bro,
know.
if I was a professional
I'm
baseball
joking.
player
I
and
have
someone's
no
like,
clue.
get back to your country, Kike, I would swing at that dude. I would swing.
No, it was pretty crazy.
But yeah.
That was the craziest fight I think I've ever seen on the field.
No, Pedro.
No, still not.
No, are you kidding me? Pedro,
remember that with
Pedro
with-
Martinez took a
Don
75
Zimmerman?
Yeah,
I
took
remember,
a
bro. I
75-year-old
was-
guy's head.
Oh, the ump?
No.
Yeah, no.
Who's
He was a
75?
coach. He was a coach on the
coach.
field. took his head and went
Knee?
like, yeah.
Into the knee?
No.
He threw him to the floor.
Threw him to the floor.
Oh, I thought you were about to be like to the
75-year-old
knee.
by the head though,
You
like
missed it.
this.
That was the height
Threw
of
him.
the Yankees-Red Sox
No,
rivalry.
that was the
That was
craziest
the point.
thing I've ever seen in my life.
Again, that was the height of the Yankees-Red Sox rivalry. Shmuel, you have to understand, I was a diehard Yankees fan at that
understand.
time. I was at the place where I was in the deli watching all the games on Shabbos. I was
By the
obsessed.
way, for the people who grew up more to the left or secular than Laibel, being a diehard Yankees fan is code name for I didn't have a television growing up and I had nothing.
fair enough.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying I was obsessed, and I figured out a way to either listen or watch every
Yes,
Yankee game.
yes.
I remember that very clearly. It was at the height of the Yankees-Red Sox rivalry. I still think that this was a little bit crazier, honestly.
No way.
If I'm being honest.
No way.
This
I don't
was
know,
such
grabbing
a
a
square
75
up in middle of the field. It was like, what is
It
going
also
on?
ended after like 2 seconds. It was no.
Maybe not.
I don't
know.
think
I
so.
just
But
saw-
either way,
yeah, that was
you
pretty
getting
intense.
back into basketball.
Playing, yeah. So
What's
I've
that like?
Zach playing basketball has to be the cutest thing of all
I'm
time.
adorable. I'll tell you.
Honestly,
Shmuley, I'll tell you.
No, but I'll give him some props. When Zach was younger, he wasn't a bad basketball player.
Yeah, I wasn't good, but I wasn't
He-
bad. I was okay.
But Zach did like to shoot a lot.
Right. So
And if Zach didn't get to shoot, he didn't care if the team was up 8-4. Zach would just be like, I'm not playing defense this time. I want the ball because until we get to 11 points, right now is my opportunity to shoot threes.
So, if you want to know what getting back to basketball is, how it feels to me now, is thank God I've grown as a person in my 29 years of life. I realize I don't have a great shot. I simply do not have a great shot. I like defense.
Awesome.
I play defense, and like I told it to my friend who I was playing with, and he was like, "That's like civil service. Like when you play basketball and you're like, oh, I'm a defense guy. That's like, dude, we really appreciate. Like you're like a veteran in the war. You're like, I really thank you so much. Like, how'd you take your ego out? Like, how'd you do that? Like for your country. Like I enjoy taking defense. I don't shoot often. We played for 4 hours Sunday with I cured racism. We were the first Jews to ever play with black people at a court. No, it was great. And I took 2 shots and just. I shut a guy down defense. I was enjoying it. I like it. I like the hustle of it.
Is Zach a hacker guy? Like he's playing defense and he's just elbowing people?
No,
Like,
no, I'm
no.
trying to steal. I'm trying to steal the
trying to
entire
steal.
time.
He's the
The
stealer.
entire
He's the
time.
stealer. He's the stealer guy. He's the guy that's just consistently going.
100%. I'm just like, mine. No, I want it. Mine.
And the guy, and like if you're playing a really good player, the guy is just looking at you, and every single time you like nudge him over, it's like, bro, stop! You're not getting the ball. You know, like
Yeah, but it's still good defense. It's a good defense. Hey, bro, fundamentals, bro, fundamentals. I will also say, there is, other than like shooting a game-winning 3-pointer, I don't think there's a better feeling in any sport than a guy like trying to cross you over, or whatever, like pulling a move, and you put the hand in the right
you
position, and
catch it.
now it's your
Strip.
ball.
Yeah, strip.
I love the way you talk about basketball. It's like guys trying to cross over, and now it's your ball.
Yeah,
your
no.
ball's become my ball.
You just sodomize him, like basketball version. Like he's done. Like go sit down. This is mine
Be
now.
humble.
Be
Sit
humble.
down. Be
It's
humble.
amazing.
You know what the
feeling.
funny part is? I don't remember the last time I crossed someone over, not in a like arrogant way, and someone got their hands for whatever reason in
Yeah,
the way of the
no,
ball.
I
Have you
don't
ever
know.
had that? That's
I
that
don't
means
think
the guy
I've ever
does not
crossed
have.
someone over in my life.
That means the guy doesn't
Yeah,
have.
you're
a
not a
crossover.
big handler. I've noticed. Shmuley, for those who don't know, you're not. Shmuley's
Oh,
the best.
I'm not a great ball handler.
You're not. Shmoo's. You're obviously
No,
the
I'm
best
not.
player
I'm not.
on this podcast.
I'm
You're
not.
very
no,
good.
Laibel was very good.
Okay,
Laibel
you're
was
very
very
good.
as
Fine.
a kid.
I've never seen Laibel play, but you were very good. But you were never a handles guy.
No,
you
I
don't
was
have
never.
handles.
No, when I was like ninth
You
grade,
played like
I
a white
was.
guy.
No,
You-
when I was
you
ninth
shot-
grade,
you
I
shot.
did.
He can shoot.
He had a
like,
great shot.
When I was in 9th, 10th grade, I was able to
Still
handle.
shoot
But
like
then once I
unbelievable.
got
You have no handles.
Yeah, no. Once I started eating schnitzel sandwiches, it was over.
You're not a very mobile person.
No. Once I started eating
Shmuley, if
schnitzel
Shmuley is
sandwiches,
that
it
guy,
was-
You're
I'll
not
be honest.
actually athletic.
No, I'll be honest.
Correct. I have
Shmuley's
very
that
good
guy.
coordination.
Shmuley's that guy that your extra 2 inches has made the difference between my coordination versus your coordination. You know what I'm saying? I'm 6 feet.
You
probably.
coordinated. You're like a handler.
Yeah, much
Yes,
more
yes,
than he is,
yes,
for sure.
yes.
I'll be
correct.
honest. Don't take this the wrong way. I mean, it's insult. There's no good right way to say it. You really don't give off like I'm good at basketball energy at all.
Okay.
He's very good.
You're good at.
Very,
Are you good at other
very
sports,
I'm an athletic person.
bro? Do you have a court outside? I want to play you.
For
Label's
sure.
very, very
I'm
good.
down.
Label's probably better.
Label's
than
got
me when we were
handles?
younger. Yeah.
Yeah, I
What?
can play.
It so
I can
doesn't
still
fit.
play. Like I'm very quick. I can.
That's fun.
Honestly, you guys are hitting my ego
Anyways,
right now.
it's
When
not
I
the
was a
one-
little one, like 15, 16, I did have handles, but then once I got,
Did you?
yeah, when I was 9th grade, 8th, 9th,
No,
I was,
you used to.
I was still good at
Shmuley,
10.
I have a lot of
The
memories of
second
you
that I-
kind of hovering by the
Oh,
like
the
3-point
That's
line.
just because I'm lazy and I was a good shooter.
Yeah, but like you
yeah,
didn't have
no,
handles.
Yeah,
Zach-
yeah, by the time I hit 15, 16, I just knew that my game
You knew
was,
you were gonna get fat, and you're like,
I knew I was gonna eat schnitzel sandwiches, and also I was taller than everyone. I was also I'm egotistical way, like when we were playing, we were in wits. I was just so much better than everyone in our class specifically.
Yeah.
That it was just, I wasn't gonna just. It was never a
Yeah, but
challenge.
when
I
was
wasn't
the
gonna
last?
drive to the
By
rim.
the way, which
So I used to.
now I'm gonna.
That's
rip
why
you.
I started playing
You
with
never,
the upper classes.
I was gonna say, yeah. In order to progress,
I did play with the upper classes.
do you ever go to the? Do you ever like play like the
Now
like the streets? No, like go to like a.
So
league.
I used to
play
when
with like real.
Yes, when I was
guys were
21,
good.
22. When I was playing. When I was 21, 22, I used to play. I used to go to there.
Park.
Me.
Were there guys who were much better
Friend
than you?
Winter, friend Scott's. We used to go play. Yeah, of course. But then like once.
Why can't you dunk?
You're
white boy.
white.
2?
Yeah, but I'm not athletic.
You have no jumps.
No
hops.
No hops. I'm extremely coordinated. But it's very simple.
No, but that's a very funny concept that like in the Jewish world, if you're literally a Jew and can dunk, you're a celebrity. That's already like that is you're a
Yes.
B-list celebrity at the very least.
I would just like to say to make fun of myself. I have a tremendous hand-eye coordination. No foot-eye coordination. I can't
Very good at
rollerblade.
masturbating.
I can't. He's like, I'm very good at masturbating. I have tremendous hand-eye coordination.
Tremendous.
Okay, but I have a horrible foot-eye coordination. When it comes to soccer, rollerblading,
not gonna-
ice
You can't rollerblade?
skating, no, ice skating, I can't do any of that
So
stuff.
I'm like, as a
Skiing,
dancer,
we
I
had
have-
that story where I just ran straight into a fence.
I have better eye
right,
coordination.
you're an amazing. You're an
I have more
amazing
balanced
dancer.
stuff, yeah,
You're
yeah.
terrible at masturbating.
You're not about horrible. Can't. I've never figured it out. If you guys could give me pointers after the pod, I've never been able to figure it out.
Okay.
Should we answer some questions?
Yeah, let's wrap with some questions.
This has been a fun. I had a very good time today. Oh, this is good. All right, we're gonna answer some of your guys' really important questions. All right, so we asked our dear followers. Oh, someone asked. Okay. This is a good question. Let's start with this. Go around. Dream guest and why. I'm sure we'll all have different answers. So.
Dream guest and why?
Yeah.
It's
a great question.
I think 2 people. Steve Carell, because of The Office.
Yeah, no need
Michael
to explain
Scott,
that. Yeah,
okay, whatever.
Legend.
I think it'd just be legendary podcast. And by the way, this is specifically podcast stuff.
He doesn't do podcasts.
Not just like who. And then I think Gabor Mate. What's his name?
Gabor Mate.
Gabor Mate, yeah. I think,
Dream guest. What's his name?
yeah, I think Gabor. I can't Gabor.
Easy
Gabor.
answer. Easy answer. Dave Portnoy, Donald Trump.
Yeah, I knew that he was gonna
Easy.
say
Yeah, it's just as far as a dream guest.
I know. It's just
Easy.
It's like someone wrote you.
No, that's just why would I not take those the 2?
The 2 people I admire most, their
Not
videos,
admire. It's not
their
about
character
admire.
traits.
It's just about the greatest guest to have on your podcast.
No, it's a good answer.
100
It's a
million,
good
100
answer.
million watchers.
First of all, I love it's a good answer. It's fine.
Yours? What about yours?
Yeah. So I've put some thought of this. I mean, in the comedy world, I
was
think
gonna
for
say,
me,
you're gonna go comedy.
In the comedy world, for me, Nick Kroll, because he's kind of
Okay.
like he's just like the legend
What
for me. And
Chappelle?
no, that's not my. You're not ready for my hot take on Chappelle. He's a little overrated. No, we're not getting into a conversation.
Okay,
No
fine.
way.
Next.
Josh Groban. He's hilarious.
He is
and
very funny.
He's got a lot to him.
Laibel
He's
has
just-
no idea who this is.
Yes,
I've
he's
heard
got
of
to
it.
know
I
Josh
know
You
Groban.
know the song "You Raise Me Up"?
Yeah.
You raised me up.
I just,
him, man.
I really want to interview Josh Groban. I don't know why, but
thought that was
he's very
Fiesta.
funny and he was such an important
Raise
singer
me
in my life.
up like that. That song?
No. Yeah, that's me. You.
Or not Tiesto, the other guy, Martin Garrix.
No, that's
He's not EDM, bro.
Bro, wait. He's singing.
What's he singing?
He's singing. Wait, so sing it again. What were you singing? No, because he started with "You Raise Me Up,"
Dude, you got
and
it
I
right.
was like, okay, so I thought he got it right.
It's
But
the
now
same
he's
exact
singing. But now he's
notes.
singing
It's the
it.
same notes.
Wait, there's
as
a Tiesto song that has the same notes as that.
Martin Garrix.
Margaret, what is it? How's it go?
Yeah, when that's Avicii. They are
Yes,
similar.
Avicii.
So yeah, so no, he was the.
You wake me up. It said that wake me up is very different than you raise me up. You're a
No, that's
moron.
actually no.
Label's moron of the podcast.
No,
How'd you
he's
raise
not.
me up?
No, he's not moronic. You raised me up. You
same
wake
exact
me
chorus.
up. It's very
It's the
similar.
same
Now,
chords.
I am good with these type of things.
It is.
He knows.
I've
might not be
always
the
told
most
you have a decent voice. You
Yeah,
just
I
smoked
know
it out.
music slightly. No, but not just that. I have a good decent
does.
So
He
ear.
has
you know,
good
so
ear.
Josh Groban, I really want to have on.
You raise me up.
His music's
Does have
awesome.
the same chords.
How does
at
You
the
Raise Me Up?
beginning.
Go again.
You
Raise me up so
Like you
I can
feel-
stand
Oh.
on mountains.
Yes.
You raise me up to walk on stormy seas.
Stormy
Label,
Daniels.
say the words. Even though he's going.
Yeah, correct.
I know the song, of
Yes.
course.
Okay. So that's not. You wake me up when it is AFC. Yes, AFC.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, similar chord progression.
Laibel, you're great with music. Go on, Zach.
Josh, come on the pod.
All right, who
All
else?
right.
Next
What do
question.
we got? What do you guys think the next trend will be in the Jewish community? Intermarriage. Boom.
I was gonna take this serious for a
Yeah,
second.
go ahead. Take it seriously.
Well, I don't like. I never take any of these.
I was
seriously.
gonna be like, people are gonna start giving gets.
Oh,
Boom.
Boom.
Just ride the
no,
high
I'm
coattails.
fucking-
Next trend.
that would be a great
No,
trend.
I didn't mean it like that. Like there's just gonna be divorces everywhere.
No, you
I
meant
meant
that-
like the Agunah crisis.
Yeah,
is
we know
gonna
what you
get
meant. We know what you
handled.
meant.
You're saying everyone's just gonna get divorced.
I just said people are gonna start getting gets.
To be fair,
As if
I see a lot more divorce.
I just
Agunahs
basically
are
said the
gonna get
next.
their
So I said it in a good way, meaning like that there won't be Agunahs, but it made it sound like we're just gonna have no more marriages. Everyone's just gonna be giving gets.
Oh, I got it. Okay, next question.
I think so much. Yeah, more Jewish divorce. All right.
Next question.
More consensual.
How do I get invited as a guest, though? So this is a very good question. There's really, to me, two answers. One is you need to have amassed either a large following on social media and or have done something extraordinary. But B, if you privately wire money to any of our accounts, upwards of $50,000, you 100% can get an episode.
And if you do $50, I'll do a private one with you.
Yeah, and me and Shmuley, not Laibel probably, but me and Shmuley will absolutely whore ourselves out. We'll do cameo. I'll come to your son's bar mitzvah.
I would cameo.
Pay me $100.
Yeah, bro. I would literally, like the schnitzel guys, I would come and just like $2.50 an hour.
Honestly, just pay for my gas, and I'll be there.
If you're 53 also, he'll definitely be there. Zach did not understand the joke.
Well, I know I literally
I said if
didn't
you're
hear
53, Zach will be there also for free.
it. Hey, yo.
Go on.
What would you guys do if a get refuser, a divorce refuser situation were to happen to your own daughter? Pretty obvious in this case. I think we would all get the iron knuckles, whatever they're called.
Brass knuckles.
Yeah. I've got a lot of anger I have not ever processed, and I would love to have a good person to put that out on.
I mean, yeah, I would hope. Yeah.
Sure as fuck wouldn't get the Godolem involved. Hot tea right there.
That was
No, I actually, I'm
I
not.
like to ad-lib my own jokes.
No, I just, yeah. What would I do? I mean, I would.
Would you not take advantage? Would you not try to beat him up?
I can't. I would hope. Look, I would hope to be able to say that I would handle it in the right way, though I cannot say.
But
I
we
would.
know you wouldn't.
I cannot say.
I don't
would.
think anyone.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
hard to give an
it's
answer.
hard,
to
Very
that.
hard.
Yeah,
don't
it's
know
hard.
what
It's
the
hard.
answer is on that.
Great question. Good question. All right, moving on. Dating. Interesting. The guy who's asking, I guess, is a former Orthodox yeshiva boy.
Okay, go ahead.
It says, dating when you're a former Orthodox Jewish guy, yeshiva guy, non-Jewish girls find us fascinating. Why? I don't think they do.
Yeah,
But I
was gonna
do
say
also think that, and to a certain point, this is true about our podcast. A lot of people in the world are kind of exactly the same. How many dudes named Rick work at Goldman Sachs or kind of, it makes you stand out. It's interesting if you're at a bar
Whenever you meet something,
and
that's
you're like,
not-
hey, I know a lot of facts about agricultural law in ancient Babylon for no good fucking reason. I learned it for 7 years. No one really told me why. It makes you interesting. I didn't masturbate for 14
yeah, when
years.
you meet something that you had never met before, it's just
You wanna go home
interesting
tonight?
thing.
Yeah. Hey, I have tremendous sexual trauma around touching myself. Would you like to date? Like, yeah, it makes
But he
you
has good
interesting.
foot-eye coordination.
yeah. It makes you interesting, and I think that's why they find us fascinating.
Zach's a feet guy.
Also, I think there's a. Honestly, I will defend myself. I'm really not. I do think also a lot of non-Jewish people. I do think it's true. A lot of non-Jewish people are interested in dating Jews because they do think, somewhat correctly, that we make money.
Yeah, of course.
That is a very real thing.
think?
That is a for sure real thing.
100%, yeah.
People are definitely into Jews because
But they're also
like,
very
they're
into the
rich.
community. Also, community. Big
I
factor.
don't think that's. Do you
I
think
think
non-Jews
they-
are sitting around like I want community? They want.
I think they like family.
They think
yeah,
we're
sure.
maybe.
I don't think I've ever been on a dating app and someone was like, "What are you looking for, Jews?"
Yeah. Well, dude, I've seen non-Jews on JSwipe literally being like, "I'm looking for a Jew. I am willing to convert."
I've
but
never
hard."
seen
yes,
that.
convert.
I've seen. Yeah.
You have to go through the whole J side from 20
No,
years old
I have.
to 75.
We've opened to the place where you've exhausted all options, and now you've added the range to
you
freaking
guys-
Venezuela, other not kosher, and like Kiki comes up. Do you love me? And you're just like, it's this 37-year-old like woman with like no 30, yeah, because you've expanded the range.
58.
Wait, you guys, on my J sub, I start at 75 and go down.
No,
I don't go
You have
up.
a 50-year-old woman in like garb.
Garb.
Yeah, like garb. Like
Garb.
Nigerian garb. It's like,
Yeah.
It's like
No.
her profile is like, wire me money for my Nigerian, looking for my Nigerian prince.
Wait, this is wild, and I can't say who it is. This is wild. I met once a ger once, like a person who converted to Judaism, Orthodox Judaism. Like he was in a young Israel. He was like a fully religious guy, and he got into a conversation with someone in the synagogue. What brought you to Judaism? And he was like, I want my kids to be like married Jews. I want them to be successful monetarily.
Yeah, okay.
That's a crazy. It's crazy.
Anyways, moving on.
Anyways, moving on.
Yeah, expanding. That is a great thing.
Jews and jam bands. That is
whatever,
definitely for me. Because we're searching and because we're seeking, and it's a spiritual type of music. And who has been your? Nah, that's a dumb question. Dumb question. Are guys actually intimidated when girls are very smart? You guys want to feel this one?
Yeah, I'll answer.
I think it's. I was gonna.
Go ahead, Shmuley.
I think it's a yin and yang. Like if she's really smart, I think it's great because I'm really dumb. So like.
So I was gonna say,
I'm just like
for whatever
good
reason,
thing.
Completely.
I don't know. I'll be. This may sound really bad, but I don't date that many girls that are that much smarter than me. That
By the way, the reason why I
Satirically.
satirically answered the question is because I knew Laibel was gonna
Take it
crash and
seriously.
burn.
Yeah.
No, I'm not
Laibel,
saying
you're
that-
like.
I'm
look,
not saying.
Don't take it the wrong way. You're like very business smart. You're like street savvy. You're not like well read or like.
But I don't need to be well read. This is a great angle, actually. You know how many girls I went out with
Yeah.
that
Label's saying his IQ is high.
it
You
doesn't
think
make.
your IQ's high?
He has innate IQ.
I'm saying that I can pretty much hold my own with most of the girls I've ever went out with. So even if they know more about
But that could
Rolling
say-
Stones than me, it makes no freaking difference.
No, but that could say a lot about your selection bias for who you go out with. You don't go out with like PhD students.
It doesn't make, even with I have gone out with those type of girls,
Yeah.
or lawyers, attorneys, whatever, people who are successful. Yeah, I've been in many conversations with them. I don't find myself intimidated
Well,
because
that's good. That means
no,
you're a
because
secure man.
no, I'm insecure on other things. But I'm saying in that particular area, like
It's big enough.
I could still, you know what I'm talking about. You can still hold your own in a conversation.
Yes.
I don't need to hold my own in a conversation.
And when I can't, I say that's what she said, and I divert the conversation.
I mean, they'll hold their own in their topic, but then when something else comes up, I'll hold my own totally.
Exactly. Everyone's smart in something. To answer the question to the person who asked that, and I think it was a woman, no. And if the guy is like, I think that's a red flag. As a man, I'm saying I think that's a red flag. It's a little weird that he's intimidated.
That's Range Rover energy.
I wouldn't be
That's-
insecure. I would.
That's strong Range Rover. He drives a Range
that is
Rover.
Range Rover
That man has
energy
a small
right there.
penis. Like
I wouldn't be insecure.
we like
I would,
smart women.
Can I say something else? I would admire. I wouldn't be insecure.
It's
That's
a
probably the
plus.
best way to
It's-
say it.
It is a
yes.
plus.
I'd be very like, wow, I actually want to keep going out with you. You're
Yeah.
really smart.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
Although
Turn on to me.
if she like absolutely destroys me in bananagrams, that's a huge pet peeve.
By
of
the
mine.
way,
No,
I
I'll
was
get destroyed in
underrated.
For-
okay, me and Laibel were at a Shabbos, and anagrams has got to be one of the most competitive games you can possibly
So-
play. And anagrams specifically, because you steal each other's words.
Yeah.
And this girl was, I said that I had beat her. I had beat her once.
Hmm.
And she's like, no, you've never beaten me, whatever. I'm telling you that I have. And so we played on Friday night. She destroyed me. Okay, obviously my ego is hit. I'm destroyed. The next day we play, and I am sitting there, and like she gets like the first like 20 letters, and we play by letters, not by words. And Label's watching me get smoked, and I make a comeback, and then like a tremendous comeback, and then
very,
like
very big.
I know that
This was Red Sox down 3-0 Yankees.
and then
It was very impressive.
I'm watching how many letters we both have, and they're at the end of the game. There's usually like 6 to 8 letters in the middle, and you have like a few minutes to figure out if you can steal a word or whatever,
Yeah.
and another person's word or make a word. And I knew just by looking at the letters that I probably had like 55, and she had like 62, 63. If I steal one of her words and I take 5 from her and I gain 5, I knew I had it. So I'm just like. She couldn't look at the word, and she's like, there's probably nothing. I'm like, I know there's something freaking there. I got it. I changed one word, and like it was a good one that I
Unbelievable.
changed. Took it.
You took the win?
Took the win, bro.
Got the W, baby.
Best feeling. I'm telling you, man, it was the best feeling I've ever had. It was one of the best feelings I've ever had.
Really? Okay.
One of the best.
No, it was gratifying.
When you win a competitive game.
Yeah, but not only that, you got smoked multiple times.
And I got
before,
smoked.
And she had told you never really beat her. And
Right.
there were people hearing the conversation. There was a lot of
chitter chatter over there on the anagrams. There was like, ooh.
What if Zuckerberg and Elon just play bananagrams in the Coliseum? They're like
By the
sitting
way,
cross-legged in the Coliseum playing bananagrams.
That'd actually be great.
That'd be great.
Like live televised, same amount of money. Just,
Everyone thinks it's an MMA fight, and like they put down their gloves, and the bananagrams go in the middle.
Scrabble.
And they sit down like pretzel style.
Pretzel, yeah. There's snacks. There's like little cheese sticks. They're just like
Their moms are in their corners, like cheering them on.
Zucky, honey, Marky.
Elon, no, the A on the left.
By the way, just on brand for me, on brand. Elon's mom is hot. She's like 65.
May?
She's
I know
hot.
I love how Laibel talks about her like he just saw her. May? Oh yeah, May. No.
Yeah, May. Yeah, you're on first name basis.
Coffee with her last week.
That's hilarious. I will say I did like one of my earliest like camping trips. There was like a girl I was into, and like we went on a little walk, and then I was like, oh, like come back, like well, I'll go back to your tent. I thought I was gonna like get something going on, and we're like, well, she's like, well, let's play bananagrams, and then she whooped my ass of bananagrams, and then the mood was off.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's got to be the
number
one thing.
You need a Viagra after that. There's no question.
Yeah. I got cock blocked by bananagrams. It was bad.
Anything else?
Do we? Nope. I think that's it.
All right,
guys. Thank you for watching. I had a lot of fun with this episode.
This was a fun one.
Good show, guys. Thank you so much for watching. On to next week, episode 47, coming to you next week. Peace and love.